Wow, Jibs, we finally did it.
This is the first time we've recorded on your computer. I've never actually used Parsec the other direction.
That's how much of a control freak he is. You say you're
I'm
calm,
really
but
not.
I don't know, man. Well, hopefully nothing goes wrong.
You know what? Actually, I don't know if we've even announced what we're doing. We're playing Stanley Parable.
Yeah, we haven't.
What's it called? The Deluxe Edition?
Yeah, the adult edition.
The Adult Deluxe Edition. I played the original Stanley Parable. Well, don't answer yet. I played it for probably 20 hours, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less. But I've also shown it to a lot of people, so I've probably clocked 100 hours of Stanley Parable. I'm going to give you 2 hours, all right, 2 videos, 2 1-hour videos. And then after that, I want to turn at it. Is
what?
That fair?
What's this? I have no idea what this means.
Well, I'm just saying I'm going to give you, I want you to play the game, and I want you to get as far as you can, and in 2 hours, I'm going to start taking turns. Oh, wait! Actually, that's not true. I heard that there was a spot in the game where it tells you that the new content is coming. So never mind. I take that back.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never played this game before. I don't know anything about it. That's it.
I've never had so much anticipation. This is my favorite game. Okay. Adjust the slider. This part's important.
That's what I'm doing. I mean,
come on. You got to make it brighter than that. I know that. Don't be nitpicky here.
For the kids.
For the kids. I want to be able to see it.
Huh?
Now this is already new. Unless it used to just take it from your system.
Oh, is it gonna make me?
Did you ever study philosophy?
I've listened to a lot of podcasts about philosophy.
Really? That's cool. Can you? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Can you name any of them?
My favorite, like Diogenes, or.
Yeah, Diogenes.
Yeah.
I've never listened to a philosophy podcast. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Diogenes was amazing. He lived in a bathtub on the street.
Wait. Oh, this is a human being?
Yeah. He lived on a bathtub in the street, and but everyone knew that he was the smartest philosopher, so everyone was really into him, and they'd invite him to dinner and stuff. And he'd act like a dog and piss on people's legs and stuff. He hated society.
And he makes a podcast?
No, that's just the Philosophize This is the podcast that I'd listen to.
Now that's what I'm looking for. Is the name of the podcast, so I can check it out.
Yeah. No, you should look at it. They go through, from the beginning of philosophy, and he looks at different individual philosophers, and then also schools of thought and how they bounced off of other people. It's really interesting.
I look forward to checking it out. I have a hard time believing that this day and age somebody could pee on someone's leg and still be a podcaster. So I'm glad to hear that it's Podcast This.
Podcast? You think it's called Podcast This?
I don't have my paper. Where is it? All right, right. What is it called?
Philosophize This. You thought it was called Podcast This. This is why we can't play Elden Ring. Oh my god. The audio sounds pretty good, right?
I think so. The game is probably going to get a little bit louder because the stuff that we've been hearing in the game so far, in my opinion, is super quiet. There's going to be a narrator, and his voice needs to be pretty prominent.
Okay. Yeah.
The end is never the end is never the end. This is one of those things that can loop in your head for a long time.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
This is one of the rare occasions that I'm going to be pretty silent because the narration is like, the narration's the important part of the game.
Okay. Talking a lot for a quiet guy. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's like physical torture for me to not talk.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Have you ever worked in an office?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I do like that they've made it like it's not clean, like because offices aren't always like super like shiny and new, like law offices and shows or whatever.
Yeah. I worked in a couple of offices. Like Activision doesn't really count because it's video games everywhere. But I also worked for a very small amount of time, like maybe 2 weeks. I quit this job quick, and I was glad that I did. I worked for this company that like bought pens for the government. I guess what I swear to God. Not that it means that much, but yeah, I worked at this place and it was like a sales job. And you just had to outsource like where people were buying like pens and like office supplies, and you were selling it to government buildings like the Navy, the Army. But it was always things that had to be from certain distributors because you can't sell somebody that's like works for the government a USB drive that's not coming
to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And I was just on a computer doing that and like cold calling companies, and I lasted 2 weeks before I was like, I can't be in an office.
That doesn't even sound real.
I know it doesn't sound real, and it's actually kind of hard for me to even remember.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Are you losing your mind yet?
No, actually, it's quite enjoyable. I remember this pretty well.
Loading.
Well,
Descending
the other
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Is the audio skipping for you, or is that just because it's online?
I think it's just online. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it,
Whoa.
the truth was that at the end of this hall, but of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
That was a close one. You know,
That was a close one. I didn't know what you were doing.
well, it said escape. I don't want to go to the
Yeah,
mind
but-
control facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Wait, did you use this in a
Stanley
Bear
thought to
Supply
himself.
show?
Did
That's
he
where
have
I've
the
seen this.
strength
It's my
to
background on
find
a
out?
lot.
Yeah. I was like, I've seen this whole thing before. So the
Well, you had no context. You didn't know that it was a mind control.
no.
It was supposed to. I was using it as like security cameras.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I guess we'll see what this does.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Who knows what that is?
You just pushed that button. You had no. Like, I can't believe you just start pushing buttons.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Oh my god, you didn't even think about it.
I was trying to shut it down. So the narrator told me to do.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
All right, beat the
He
game.
had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Nailed it. All right. Perfect ending.
I really like. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. You beat the game.
I beat the
You
game.
got the awards and everything. All right. Well, I guess that was kind of crazy. I did not expect that to be what happened.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That's not the right time, is it?
No.
You put the time in correct, didn't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a new feature. I don't know what the hell's going on with the time. It's not correct.
Turn all these computers off.
What are you pushing?
I'm trying to type on that keyboard. Let me input something. Look, there's another one over there.
I can't remember the company name,
When
but this
Stanley
is
came
I
to
don't
a
know.
set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
This place is freaky.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky. Could you imagine getting trapped in this place?
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Yeah.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
He's getting ornery.
Yeah. I mean, you're not listening.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the biggest problem that I had is that the job didn't pay like a good hourly wage. Like I was pitched this job that I was going to make a lot of money at, and then I realized.
Look, Stanley,
really
I think
quickly
perhaps we've gotten off on
that
the
it was
wrong
sales.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need...
Did I just win again?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
You have to press
From
her, right?
behind his desk,
Yeah, of
Stanley
course you do.
dreamed of wild
I mean, I
expeditions
think.
into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer
Would
he
this be
spends here, the
considered
more
Kafka-esque?
invested he gets.
I don't know
the more
what
he
that
forgets
means.
The horror
which
of the
life is the real
mundane.
one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
But I wasn't getting paid at this job. It was called Divine something. I keep thinking Divine Interventions, but I know that's wrong. But it was Divine something, and we sold stuff to government offices, and we still had to cold call them because I guess these government offices had choices of where they were buying their products from, but they had to be approved people that were on some approved list.
Vendors.
Yeah, approved vendors. And what we did is we reached out and got the lowest price on all these vendors, and we could check the price on like a pen. I keep saying pens because it was a lot of pens, and paper clips, and office supply. But I was getting paid. I don't know what it was. It was like $8 an hour. It was minimum wage. It was a minimum wage job.
What, 1973?
No. Wait, what do you think minimum wage was in like 2004?
No, it's probably $8.
Yeah. So, anyways, I worked for like 10 days. I got like one paycheck, and when I saw the paycheck that I got from this job that I was working all the time for, and I was promised huge amounts of money.
We're not so different.
I was like, oh, this is a multi-level marketing scheme, basically, except I'm on such a low level. I'm sorry.
Perhaps.
Am I talking over
Maybe
it?
this time he'll see.
No, I think you said that you were going to be quiet during the talking.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
I have no idea. So this is what I just realized: is there's a setting in
In what?
Parsec,
Oh, yeah.
in Parsec, and it's whenever I'm talking, it cuts off the game's music, and that's why it sounds like it's skipping sometimes to me.
Oh, yeah.
So like it hears me.
Let me turn that.
It might be on my end.
Right now. No, remember it's the echo something or other.
So I don't know how much I talked over it because I thought that it was like not. I thought there was nothing going on the screen. I mean, I thought there was nothing being said. I wasn't reading it.
That should fix it.
Cool.
Is it fixing it?
It does, but now I hear myself, which is okay. I don't care.
You don't care if you hear yourself?
I kind of like it.
That would drive me literally insane.
Well, it's like half a second later.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going out that escape room.
What?
I'm going
When
out
Stanley
that
came
escape
to a
room.
set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That sounds crazy.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
don't
human
remember that.
life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments
It's one of the only
with some
things that's
calming
happened.
new
Of
age
course I
music.
remember it.
I did not remember the number. I'm not 100% sure that you remembered it.
It's green.
It is green.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Looks like I did remember it.
Yeah.
That's weird. What could be affecting your short-term memory?
I have no idea.
I can't think of a single
Well,
thing.
I think part of it was that you entered the number, so I don't know if I had really registered the number in the first place.
Yeah, normally you're rock solid.
Normally, I'm rock solid. I'm gonna listen to podcast this and tell you all about it.
Here I go. I'm about to escape.
Stanley walked
I don't-
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although
gonna
this
let the mind
passageway
control
had the
facility
word
keep going?
escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
It's very dark. Die. Oh.
You made it to the next level.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
You're so suspicious.
I just want to see everything.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Credits. I beat it again.
You beat it again.
I'm like waiting for there to be clues.
I always appreciated this in a game when you would beat it and they would have like the hall of trophies for you to walk through. And it didn't happen all the time, but you'd be able to look at all the enemies and things. I think BioShock did something like that, but it was before you even beat the game. I'm trying to remember what it was. Is that the right time?
No.
Oh, that might be the right time. Look again. It's 9:56.
Yeah.
No.
It's not even close. I want to go check.
Wait! It is 9:56.
It's past the 10.
It's almost 10. The little hand is like 10. It's a weird looking clock, but I think that's right. Because that doesn't look like 11.
You think that says 9:56?
I mean, closer to 9:56 than 11:56. Now it says 57.
It doesn't say 11:56 at all. It says that it's 11:25.
Oh, I didn't. I was looking at the little stubby black hand. You're right. What's wrong with the time on this game?
I don't know. Maybe it's part of it. Maybe you gotta get the time still line. This old box. Maintenance room.
Did you ever play the elevator mod?
I don't know what that is.
It's a mod of Half-Life 2. This is a mod of Half-Life 2 also. But it's been re-released, and I think at this point in time it's built as a standalone, but I think it started as a mod. It's possible I'm full of shit, though.
So these really are the models from the game.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it. Would you like me to read this to you?
No, I got it. This is from you.
Yeah. I love the game. I really feel like I should be reading it. But now it's too late because we've gone through so many.
Gotta look for clues.
I've really never. I've played this for many hours. I've never seen this, but
Really?
I was told that there was some sort of a wall between when you start the game over, when it becomes like the new it's not DLC, the new content.
Will, the game. That's funny. Did you email them for real?
No, I never saw that stuff. I never saw that. I looked around this area. I remember looking around quite a bit, but I definitely never started reading emails. I don't know that there was an email. 2011. I definitely played the game after that because some of those messages were from 2012. It said.
Yeah.
I think this game that might have been when the mod was out. I didn't play this game until probably 2013.
You hear that?
What?
You don't want to go too close to that. You end up in the office.
The way that I got that office job was when I was working at the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. And this woman would come in all the time. She was a regular. And one day she was just like, oh, you've got like such a great voice. You'd be great at sales. Have you ever thought about doing sales? And I was probably 23 or 24 at the time. I was like, yeah. I mean, that's what I always thought I'd be good at if I didn't do acting. So I went in and I realized very quickly I'm not a salesman. I don't like to try to talk people into buying things.
What if
Unless it's a good game or a, like humble bundle, humble choice.
I can't hear that. It's not making any noise.
I don't know that there is noise. But I don't hear it either.
What is this supposed to be? These are a bunch of areas that I haven't seen yet. Lounge maintenance. Oh, they go to the same place. Rude. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, there's a way to go through the vent? That's interesting.
How do you go through the vent?
I don't know. It just said that there's a way that you can go.
I mean,
from the
what's the
lounge
directions
through
say?
the vent.
Oh. Vent.
You go to the right
What's
instead
the
of the
other
left
one
door.
say?
You go to the maintenance. You go to the vent. The confusion ending, maintenance. The other entrance would be hidden depending on how you entered. The confusion ending, weird. But what that block, that gray block, is in a different spot every time. But what is that block?
I don't know. I'm not even entirely sure. The only one that looks like a path is vent. Everything else kind of looks like a mess.
That's where it came from. It's like being in a museum. It feels nice.
Yeah.
Let's check out the other side. I'm waiting for something to just like lop my head off or something.
What time does it say now? Because we know what time it was before. Is time passing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sure you put the time in correct?
Yeah.
Stanley walked through the green door. And finally, he pushed the number 6. Stanley pushed the orange lever.
All right. I got an itch on my foot.
This game's got too much action.
Yeah, I agree.
I can hardly.
I mean, I don't.
Action.
I've played this game many times, and I've watched people play this game many times, many different people. And I gotta be honest, I've never seen this.
Look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Wait,
But
what?
listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit.
I'm not trying to get crushed by those things.
I mean, you just started the game over.
This is the story.
I'd start all over.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Still save
Perhaps he had
those
simply
two.
missed a
I want to
memo.
go see that vent.
I don't really know how to
When
find
Stanley
it.
I
came
know
to
where
a
it's
set
at.
of 2 open doors, this was not the
James,
correct
you
way to
gotta
the
get off
meeting
those
room,
candles,
and
bro.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he
We've
wanted to
only been
stop by
doing
the
one
employee
thing this whole
lounge
time,
first.
walking
Just
through
to
the
I
same
just
thing
don't know
over
how
and
you're
over
finding the vent right now.
Wow. Yes.
I don't know.
This room.
It's in here somewhere.
What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Where's this freaking vent?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Have I been? No, I did that last time.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
We gotta mix it up, baby.
Yeah, but I don't really
Stanley
remember
didn't
how
want
I
to go
originally
back to the
played
office.
this game.
He wanted
You're
to
playing it
wander
a little
about
like
and
I
get
never
even
noticed.
further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here. It's left. Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
What have you done? What were you saying?
All of his
I was saying
co-workers
that
were
I don't.
gone.
It's
What could
been
it
a while
mean?
since I personally
Stanley
played it. I
decided to
usually
go to
just
the
watch
meeting
people
room.
play it.
Perhaps he had
And
simply
whenever
missed a
somebody
memo.
starts playing it, they play it from where you started today, and everyone plays it a little
When
differently.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
But what I was saying is, I've played this game a whole bunch myself, but it's been since probably 2013 or 14 when it came out since I've played it. I'm usually bringing other people to play it, and I just like set them in front of it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly how each person played it, but everybody played it differently, and I certainly haven't seen anyone play it like you have. And I never noticed a vent.
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
What do you
Well,
mean
I find
play
it
like
unlikely that we'll ever progress
What
by
else could you
starting over
possibly
and
do?
over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, that's Papa John's garlic sauce. Did you see that?
Was that really?
Yeah.
I did not. I saw something, but I didn't read Papa John's. It looked, actually, now that you say it, yeah.
What is the other option? How else
All
would
of
you
his
play this?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, you were looking for the vent specifically. I never saw those emails. I don't know that they were in the game. But reading that in that room, like I didn't get to that room until way later.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
Yeah, we've
I
broken
might be
this
remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
There should be 2 doors here.
$4.20.
Hell yeah.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I feel like I might have broke this game. Ew.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Hell yeah. Can't believe I beat this game twice. Wait, what?
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
That's not the right way, though. That's not the way it used to go. There should be 2 doors here. Just tax invoice.
Wouldn't that be annoying if you worked at a place that just a bunch of tax invoices?
You see?
Boring.
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Shocking.
Do you think this would help you get through your day if this was the theme song to your day? Or would this give you anxiety?
Cut the music.
Thank
Go
goodness.
back
That's
and
gonna
look
be
at
so
that
loud.
fern.
Wait, go back and look at the fern?
I didn't
Stanley,
even hear that.
this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
What?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh. Time is going backwards.
Oh.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Have you ever played Portal?
I think like you and me have played like the first levels together.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
You know what I'm gonna... Oh, wait, what? The confusion ending. Oh.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Violent ending. It said that there was a bookstore. I've never found a bookstore.
Yeah, well, you've only played it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I've probably seen
Stanley
everything
decided
that
to
they
go
have
to the
show
meeting
me.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This game has like over 100 hours of content.
And I've done
Yet
all
there was
of it
not
in
a
like
single
50 minutes.
person here either.
No.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this is. Strange. Never been to the bathroom before.
Yeah.
I can just open all this stuff now. Oh, I should go up. I don't want to go down into the hole.
No, you don't. Does it feel like we're going down, though?
I think it's just shaking. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Well, we'll know when the door opens, whether or not we've traveled.
And this is where we started. This wasn't anywhere. You got it this time, though, right?
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now.
2,
Blah, blah,
4,
blah.
8,
Dark
6.
secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look,
Oh,
it's
you
a new
didn't-
passageway.
you don't do it
Kill
anymore.
surprise.
Only push down on that one.
Are you sure you didn't just miss it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk
You know what
forward
happens at the
and
end of this
willingly
hall,
confront
right?
his death.
Yeah, we got to get back to the point where I turn it off again, and instead of
Well, do you turn it off this way, or does this kill you?
No, this puts me in the thing, and then that, like, it stops right before I get dead. James,
Does it, though?
Have you been here at all? You don't remember this?
I mean, I remember this, but
As
I
the
don't
machine
remember you
whirred
getting a
into
chance to
motion,
turn it
and
off.
Stanley was inched closer
then it
and
takes me
closer
to the
to his
museum,
demise,
and then in
he
the museum I
reflected
can
that his
turn
life
the
had been
Stanley
of no
Parable off.
consequence whatsoever.
And then she's like,
Stanley
you
can't
can
see
still
the
save
bigger
them.
picture.
Press
He doesn't know
escape
the
and-
real story,
and
trapped forever in
quit.
his narrow vision of what
And I
this
did
world
it, but this
is.
time I don't want to do it.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
That's different.
Is it?
I think so.
Number 8.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape
yeah.
and press quit. There's no other
You
way
quit
to
the
beat
game.
this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
I mean, I could get mushed
Don't
right here, but
choose it.
I
Don't
don't
let
know.
time
Like,
choose for you. Don't let...
but I was already dead, so maybe I needed to do that.
I guess.
What do you mean, you guess?
I had forgot that you quit the game and then you restarted the game.
I think we gotta stop there.
I think this is a great spot to start, and a great spot to stop. They do start it back up when it saves automatically.
Excellent. Well, James, thanks for showing me whatever this is.
I mean, you aren't done with it yet. We need to have another video soon.
I'm so glad that I beat it so many times. Seemed easy.
You really haven't even touched the surface of the game.